Hello and welcome to Wascoey. Today we are going to make a gluten-free tater tot casserole. It's not vegetarian, although you could probably, if you wanted to, substitute Beyond Meat for the hamburger, and that would make it vegetarian. But it is gluten-free and nut-free and super easy to make. Basically, you just put all the ingredients in a pan and bake it for 30 to 40 minutes until your tater tots are as crispy as you want. Please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think. What kinds of variations of tater tot casserole do you make? Do you put cheese on top of yours? I don't, but a lot of people do. Do you use peas instead of green beans? What do you do for your tater tot casserole? Thanks for watching.
We are working on our freezer clean out this month, so I'm gonna make some tater tot casserole. I just pulled the egg bake out of the oven. I'm not sure what we'll post first, but I greased my pans. I don't have a recipe for this either, but basically I just throw a bunch of stuff together. I only have one 13 by 9. I thought I had two, but it looks like I have two 11 by 14s, and I don't think I have quite enough beef for an 11 by 14. So I'm going to split this recipe into two 11 by 7 pans and see how it goes. I'll probably cook both of them tonight, and then if there's leftovers, I'll freeze one. It depends. It depends. We may eat a whole pan, and then I may just save the other one for later this week, like Thursday, and heat up the second pan. We'll see how it goes with tater tot casserole. Either goes super fast or it goes super fast in my house. So I don't know. We'll see. But I have the green beans from the school. I still have half a pack. This is the half pack that was in my freezer clean out. I didn't know how far it would go. I also have about half an onion. Where are you? That I chopped up. A pound of ground beef. This ground beef I happened to get at a grocery outlet for $4 for a pound of grass-fed, which is pretty good. I just pulled it out of the freezer a couple days ago. It's been sitting in the fridge. I have tater tots and then cheese, which I still need to grate. So I may or may not do that on camera. And then I also have cream of mushroom soup, and I'm going to use about a cup of milk too. So I'm going to get my pan started. I just have some olive oil in here, and this is just my flat bottom all-clad pan, my skillet I think it's called. And then I also have my, I don't know what size this is, but this is my other pan. It's like a medium or smallish kind of pan for the soup. So I'm just gonna see how many of these fit in here. It looks like that one is yucky. Toss that in the sink, and just want kind of an even layer. I don't know if you can see this one. You just want an even layer on the bottom. So see, that half a bag was not enough for this pan. So open this other one up. I'll turn my skillet on. There is a fly in here. We never have flies in the house, but our puppy Luna destroyed our screen door last week. So our replacement screen door for the ones she destroyed a couple weeks ago, she destroyed again. So I'm gonna figure something out. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little more in here. I just kind of not thick, but just a layer, a decent sized layer. I don't know, we have a lot of green beans to use up. And I like to have more vegetables than not. It's not like the Duggar casserole where there's no vegetables. I like to make a lot of it be vegetables just so it's a little bit healthier. So there's that. I'm gonna cook my onions and my beef in the pan. Let me get moved over so you guys can see the pans. I'll just leave those for now. Let's see. Can you guys see? That's my egg bake. I just pulled it out of the oven. It's too hot to film. So this is heating up, and then for the mushroom. It's just the gluten-free. So this recipe is gluten-free, but it's not vegetarian, and it's also nut-free. So I use this. Don't need a can opener. Let's see, did I grab? I did. Spoon, and then let me get the milk out of the fridge real quick. It's too warm in here to leave this milk out for long. It's because the oven's been running all day. So, all right, so I heat up the milk and the cream of mushroom to get them all mixed together in a pan. And then I also, I can smell that my olive oil is getting hot. Let me do that real quick. I can smell it. Oh, it's not as hot as I thought it was, but I still do not want it to burn. Okay, so I don't know if there's a recipe for this. I just sort of made it up. I perfected it, I guess you would say, over the years. I mean, some people like different ways. I just fill up my can of soup with milk, heat those up, and then when this is hot, this pan is hot with the milk and the soup in it, then that is when I will add the cheese and melt the cheese. Not before. And I'll probably, actually, I'm going to add a little bit of extra milk to this just because we're going to stretch it over to, it's probably a half cup extra to 2 pans. Because remember, I had to use, like, instead of half a container of green beans, I had to use 1 1.25, or half and a quarter, so 3/4 of a container. So I think that's probably going to be right. And then my oven is preheating to 400. I cannot remember if it's supposed to be 400 or 425 or 375, so we're going to kind of split the difference with 400. And we're just going to cook our onions a little bit. And while that's cooking, my milk and my thing is on medium. My onions are on like a little bit above medium. And then my cream of mushroom soup and my milk are just on medium. I'm gonna grate my cheese. And I probably should have grated this first, but I didn't. So we're gonna grate it now. I gotta get my grater, so I'll be right back. All right, so I grated some of my cheese, about a cup. I'm gonna add it to my mixture, and then I'll grate some more. And actually, I usually don't put cheese on top of my casserole. Okay, so our onions are sweated a little bit. I'm just gonna add the beef to it. Make sure that your milk does not burn, especially since like I used 1% milk. You can use whole milk. It's a lot creamier, but I have a lot of 1% milk on hand, so that's what I'm using. So I just dump this directly in there. Looks like this does not have a peely thing, where you can peel it. So, and I bought this a couple months ago. It's been in my freezer. I think I have 2 or 3 left. And then we also ground a bunch of our own, a bunch of beef. So one other thing I want to mention is that you don't have to put onions in this. You can just, I gotta wash those. You can just do the ground beef. I don't always include onion. I haven't been. This is probably the first time I have in a while. Just because, well, okay, I'm gonna have to wash my hands. So give me a minute to wash my hands. All right, I guess that was still recording. Did it record? Hopefully I recorded everything. Anyways, I just added my ground beef. So I was saying you don't have to use onions if you don't want to, and my milk is of course heating up faster than I can look at. You don't have to use the onions. It's almost time to add the cheese to this. I'm just going to turn it down and chop up your beef. I don't have one of those fancy choppery things. You don't have to add the onions. I don't always add them. Luna really likes tuna casserole too, and onions are toxic to dogs. So this is definitely something that I'm going to have to be careful about leaving on the stove. Afterwards, we're going to have to really keep an eye on her this evening while it cools, just to make sure that she doesn't sneak in here and eat any, because I do not want her to get sick, and I do not want to take her to the vet tonight to have her stomach pumped. Onions are definitely on the toxic list for dogs, as well as grapes, raisins, chocolate for sure. I think most people know about chocolate, and avocados, which I did not realize until we had our middle daughter and she dropped avocados on the floor, and one of our dachshunds, Oscar, who is no longer with us, he got really sick from avocados. I had no idea until then. So I'm just going to add this cheese to my mixture. I like a lot of cheese. I don't put it on the top. Some people will put the cheese, the grated cheese, on the top. I don't do that. I like to have my tater tots be crispy, you know, like crispy. So I usually put the cheese in the mixture. I may add some milk to this. Let's see. You can also not dirty a second pan, which I'm just now thinking that I probably should have done. And just mix this in with your cooked beef, but you know, I did. I have a ton of dishes to do. I still haven't done the ones from when I made this other casserole, because I was like, I had to sit down for a minute. I was tired after all that filming. All right, so you just cook your beef until it's cooked, until it's browned, you know. Why did this get... I'm gonna add some salt and pepper here. I still have not refilled my salt container, so I just still have my big kosher salt from earlier. It's just like a pinch of salt, maybe a little more. It's a lot of green beans. Green beans are not seasoned, but the cream of mushroom soup, the gluten-free one, I found is not as salty as the regular Campbell's. Like the Campbell's cream of mushroom soup I found, or the store brand ones, they add a lot of salt to those. This one doesn't have nearly as much. And this beef is pretty lean too, so it's not, I'm not going to drain it a whole lot when I put it in the, when I mix it. I'm probably actually not going to drain it at all, because this is 90%, I think. So I don't need to drain it. It won't be greasy. You can see there's like very little grease in the pan. And no, I don't have a spoon rest right now. I have to watch that. I'm just, you know, cooking up a storm today. All right, so this is pretty melted. I'm actually going to combine it in the beef pan because the beef is almost done. I don't want it, like, I don't mind having a little bit of pink in there so that yeah, this probably would have been smarter for me to just cook it all together, but whatever. I like having a little bit of pink in there since it's going to get baked again, right? And then the beef won't be super tough when you're putting it in the, when you're crisping up your tater tots. All right. So let's add this to our green beans. I don't know. This may be, I may have to turn off the camera because this may be embarrassingly difficult since this is so heavy. I do need a pot holder for that. All right, let's see if I can do this. Some more, let's see. You hear Luna back there barking. Our neighbors sold their house, and I think the new people are showing up to look at it and stuff. So, all right, that burner's still on, so we got to remember that. I don't know if this is enough. I'm just gonna spread this over the top. Hopefully it's enough liquid. These green beans have a lot of frost on them. You can tell because I've been trying so hard, guys, to eat through my green beans. We've been getting 4 pounds of green beans a week, and I love green beans, but even that is a lot of green beans for me. So that's why I think I might freeze one of these. And like half a pound of hamburger. I probably could have stretched this, but it's okay. All right, so sometimes I make my tater tots really beautiful and line them up. Today is not going to be one of those days. We're just gonna dump them on there and hope for the best. I got these at grocery outlet as well. I don't really measure. Just kind of want to dump them on there. These ones actually do not have as much salt on the tops of them. So what I did last time is I salted and peppered the top of it, and it actually was really, really good. So I just kind of make sure there's not a whole lot of gaps in my tater totness. There's no measuring involved. I mean, sometimes I will lay them out, but I just don't have the, we got to do what we got to do. We got to make sure that there's just so much to do, and it's just for my family, and literally these will get inhaled. If my oldest daughter finds out, I suspect she may come by tonight. I just have this feeling, my mom sense is tingling. Then I will have to have 2 of these cooked up, because that's how fast they'll go. Although my husband is going out to dinner with his coworkers, so maybe not. But all right, so I've got our 2. We still have enough left over for like one meal. It's probably, I don't know how big these bags are. Let me look. These are 5 pounds of bags, and the Ore-Ida ones, these ones that I buy, these are gluten-free. They say gluten-free on them, and I've never had a problem with them. You have to be careful with store brands though, because sometimes they are and sometimes they aren't. So I always try and stick with the ones that I know are gluten-free. And usually it's a processing thing, like if they get processed on equipment that also has gluten, like if maybe they cut down on they make their french fries crispier by adding a little bit of flour to the outside. Some places will do that. And I'm sure you probably think this might be a lot of salt. I don't know. This is one of the dishes that I like a lot of salt in. It's like, I don't think it's that much though. It looks like a lot when you're pinching it out like that with the kosher salt. It always looks like way more, I feel like. All right, I'm gonna stick these in the oven, and then I bake them. I'm probably gonna bake these for about 30 minutes. So I'll let you know when I'm done, and thank you for watching, and have a great day. Feel free to like and subscribe.
Thank you for watching our gluten-free tater tot casserole recipe. I made 2 11 by 7s and stuck one in the freezer, and it's now a couple weeks later, and we're gonna eat it for dinner tonight. So it was super easy to make, super easy to freeze and reheat when you're ready, and 100% gluten-free, as long as you use the Pacific cream and mushroom soup and not the Campbell's. So let me know what you think of it. If you have made it and you enjoyed it, like and subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching, and have a great, wonderful day.